Hey everyone, just wanted to put together a really quick video to kind of get you to the next steps before next week because we were cut short today. So two things that I want you guys to get done before next week, very, very important. I'll put an announcement up on Blackboard about it. But number one is I want you to get Premiere Pro on your computer or get your computer with Premiere Pro. So the labs, all the Mac labs have it. On the campus as well. And I'm not sure if any of the open labs, like at the library or anything like that, have it. I don't even know if there is open labs actually at the library anymore, but get you a computer with Premiere Pro. It's actually, if you go to adobe.com right now, there's a 7-day trial. There's always a 7-day trial you can pretty much get access to. But if the adobe.com website, if you go down to Creativity and Design, go to Premiere Pro, there's a free trial button, click on that. And you can get 7 days. You do have to put a credit card number in to get your 7 days, and then it'll be $30 a month. Right now it's on sale. Actually, that's not on sale. The full version right now is on sale for $39. But you guys get, students and teachers, you get access to a discount, and that's on sale as well right now for $21 a month. So at least do your 7-day trial here. And you can also cancel this at any time during it. So this is a great way, just if you want to try to use it on your own computer. It's actually a good deal. $21 a month, you get access to the full Creative Cloud. That's Photoshop and Illustrator and all of these different applications. Next semester, we'll be using InDesign. We're going to be using Premiere Pro a lot. We're going to be playing around with a little bit with Photoshop, a little bit of Illustrator. So if you imagine, these are all Adobe apps under the Creative Cloud. You also get access to Adobe Portfolios, which is a website in which you can create a portfolio for yourself past graduation. Not Elementor. It's a lot easier to use than Elementor, but it has a lot less power. But they actually are really nice looking websites. So these are all in here. It's actually a really good deal if that's something you want to do, but it's completely up to you. Now, I do recommend, if you're grabbing this, if you're on the Mac, an M1 version or later is really what you want. If you're on the older Intel ones, unless it's a pretty powerful Intel computer, if it's a few years before that M1, you might have struggle. If you're on a Windows computer, shoot me a message with your, what your specs are, and I'll tell you whether or not I think Premiere Pro will be able to work very well on your computer. So anyway, what I want you guys to do is, that's number one, is get it. And what you're going to do in Premiere Pro is when you go ahead and open Premiere Pro for the first time, there'll be some tutorials. So there's also a whole Learn section. You're going to find this tutorial. It's called Create a Social Video. It's going to take you about 10-15 minutes to get through it, if I remember correctly. And it's a fantastic, phenomenal tutorial to get you kind of into Premiere Pro and really starting to understand how it works. Now, what I have here is I've gone ahead and created a new project in Premiere Pro, and I've kind of brought it into just the very basics. Where'd it go? Oh, yeah, I got to close this. And you can see, just as a really quick, tutorial of where to start in this program, first of all, I've gone up here, and I've gone to Workspaces, and I've gone to Editing. Number one, it puts it into this layout. If I start in the bottom left-hand corner, this is my bin. So this is my media browser, my libraries, all of my files that I'm working with, they're all sitting in here, right? So here's, for example, here's a video file. Here's a video file with audio. And if I go all the way down, here's a audio file, just an audio file. And we're going to talk about resolutions. We're going to talk about frame rate and all that jazz next week, as we're going to go through this content and start playing around what this stuff looks like, and how all this works. But this bottom left is my bin. This top left-hand corner, that's if I click on any of these, I can actually preview them up here and see what that video is, and then also kind of determine what part of that video I actually want to grab, right? So I can say I want to grab only this section of it, and then bring that into my my playhead down here by bringing that down into here. So that's what this section is. It's an optional kind of use. You can just drag it from here and edit after. And again, we're going to talk about that. This is my program side. So this is really previewing what I've been building. So if at any point in time, I can go ahead and kind of reset the playhead here, and hit play. And I can see the video that I've started to create, right? In this bottom right-hand corner here, this is my sequence, it's called, or my timeline. And this allows me, my timeline editor allows me to see, in seconds where I am along here and what's happening, right? So I have a video track, for example. There's an audio track right below it, and it's all happening and playing along here, right? And this is really where most of my work is going to be. Now, I don't want to get too much further in here because that tutorial is actually going to bring you to that next level and really help you out. So what I'm going to do instead is let's jump back to Blackboard just for a second because I want to show you something. In the basic video editing assignment, under assignments in the side, assignments in the side down to basic video editing assignment, I've got the instructions. We talked about the instructions. Take a look at this video file because the second thing I want you to do is to go into this folder. So the first one is to get Premiere Pro running somehow and get into it and do a tutorial. And number two is to get into this folder and start playing around, seeing what's going on. You can download all of them. They're about a gig, so it's big, but if you're on a decent internet connection, it's not going to take you too long. So it'd be good. You're going to need it anyway, so you might as well download it. But in here, there's all kinds of stuff. So there's B-roll, for example. We talked about this quick in class, but B-roll is that background stuff that there's nothing really happening. It's going to be filler content. So because part of your video is you're going to have two different people talking during the video during the 60 seconds. So you're going to want not just to focus on their interview. You're going to want to play other video alongside their audio, right? So in B-roll, you can see there's all kinds of stuff. They focus it in the bar tasting room and the brewery. This is a brewery in California, not affiliated with the college, but we have all this content. So you can see some of this. If I go ahead and just play one of them real quick, you can see if it's going to play. Yeah, there it goes. It was playing. Right, so this is just good B-roll of what the bar tasting room looks like, right? And if we go back to the brewery, you can see here's pouring hops. A guy named Casey, he's pouring hops. Perfect. Now, all these are titled really nicely for you guys, so you can really start to see. There's ones about coffee beans. There's one about all kinds of stuff. So you can come in here and start to really think about your theme. That's really what I want you to do is take a look at all this stuff so you can start picking a theme that you want for your 60-second video. So if I go, I'll go back one more here, into interviews, this is where a lot of this lives. So Casey, for example, is one of the employees there. I think he's the owner, and he talks about their IPA. He talks about how other people drink their beer and how much they love that. He talks about how he loves making beer, the process of making beer, why quality is important, and we all bring something special, right? So pretty interesting. This coffee IPA is also really neat if you want to do just focus on the coffee. So there's lots of stuff in here. I go to Erin. She works behind the bar, if I remember correctly. Iggy is actually a customer. Jack, I think, is also an owner. And Kyle is also somebody about the team. It also works on the team. So pretty interesting. You can, again, pick a theme, what you want to focus on in this video. You're going to need at least two people talking. So it could be the same person, but two different videos of them talking, or you can even use two different people at least. You can have more than that, but that's kind of the minimum requirement here, and then it has a theme. Okay? So again, two things I want you to do before next week. One is get into Premiere Pro and watch that video. Do that tutorial. So I have under course docs, under this week 13 and 14, this is the one I want here. It's called Create a Social Video. I want you to go ahead and do this tutorial right there. I think the screenshot might have changed, but this is the video I want you to do. And of course, going into assignments and doing that other stuff. Now, we're going to go through a lot more stuff. Not as much this semester, so don't get too stressed. It's really next semester that we're going to be really deep diving and getting into, how to do animation and how to do color correcting and all that stuff, and how to time things to music in the background. And this video is more just like, let's get into Premiere Pro. Let's make something pretty simple and just get our feet wet and really start to understand the workflow. And then you guys get a few weeks off for holidays, and then we'll come back and get into the more advanced stuff. Anyway, I hope this helped everybody. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you next week. And please do the tutorial and start playing around with Premiere Pro. It will help you immensely before next week, so you guys aren't starting from scratch.